I overheard my girlfriend brutally mocking me in front of her best friend. My girlfriend's name is Elena. She is 28, and we have been together for just over 2 years. I am a 33-year-old veterinarian, and we met at my work. She had just moved to the city and brought her dog in for an appointment because it had an infection. We started talking, and the 15-minute appointment turned into an hour-long conversation. I had never been so charmed by a woman before, and I had been living a bachelor lifestyle. I had already begun to think that I would remain single forever, even though my lifestyle of casual, fleeting relationships was becoming increasingly boring and empty. Gina is a charismatic woman with many friends. Her best friend is a guy named Dylan, whom she has known for a long time. I trust my wife, but I would be lying if I said that their relationship doesn't bother me at all. I'm not angry or arguing with her about it. She assured me that they have been friends all their lives and have never had any sexual relationship. I am confident enough to accept their friendship, and I even tried to befriend Milan. He has visited our city 3 times. He is a great guy, but it seems he does not like me very much. My wife says he is just protecting her. In my opinion, it looks more like jealousy than protection. She just finished her postgraduate studies this spring, and it was very difficult for her to find a job. We've been living together for a year now, and I understand that she can't help yet. With rent and other expenses, I'm financially secure, so that's not a problem. However, I don't want to be the reason she's not looking for a job, because I believe it's important for everyone to be financially independent. So I made it clear to her that she should start paying half of the expenses as soon as she finds a job. On Monday, she wrote to me that she had got a job. It was a job she really wanted, and she had to go through a difficult interview to get it. I was so happy and proud of her that I decided to leave my work at the office to my employees and left early without telling my wife. I bought her favorite alcohol, picked up some Chinese food, also her favorite, and bought flowers. A few weeks ago, my wife saw a beautiful necklace in a shop that she really liked. It wasn't too expensive, but it had a shark on it, and she is crazy about anything to do with sharks. I bought it and hid it in the basement, planning to give it to her later as a surprise when she had forgotten about it. When I got home, I went through the side entrance to the basement to get the necklace and then surprise her. When I climbed the stairs from the basement and opened the door, I heard Jenna talking on the phone. Normally, I wouldn't have eavesdropped, but I heard her laughing until she cried. It was cute, so I decided to wait until she finished her conversation to surprise her. She was talking to Dylan. Nothing new. They talk at least once a week. But then I heard what they were laughing about. It took me a few moments to realize that she was laughing about our sex life. She said something like, "No, he's nowhere near as good as my ex. My ex was at least 8 centimeters longer. Every time I eat a small carrot, I feel sorry for him because it's traumatic for him to see me bite off something of the same size. It would be cute if it weren't so awful. He has an amazing body, but until he takes off his boxers, there's a lot of laughter. Look, I don't care what people on the internet think about the size of my manhood. But I think it's important to say that what she was laughing at isn't even true. And that, in my opinion, makes her words even more hurtful. I don't know anything about her ex. Maybe he was a giant, but I have an average size, just a good old average hose. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's nothing out of the ordinary, but it's no reason to laugh at. I've never had a complex about it. What you see is what you get. Listening to my girlfriend discuss me with her friend, whom I already had doubts about, was beyond hurtful. Hurtful doesn't even come close to describing how I felt. They also mocked me for being handsome but not particularly intelligent. I'm actually very educated. That doesn't bother me at all. I know I'm smart, handsome, and super intelligent, with an average-sized penis. After that, I just left, threw her out of the car window. Yes, I cried in the car park. Yes, I think she heard the basement door close. Or maybe she saw my car driving away because she quickly started texting me asking when I would be home. This happened on Monday, and I still haven't brought it up with her. I don't know how to do it. I think I'm still processing what happened. It's terribly awkward and painful. But damn it, I love this girl. I know I need to talk to her about it. But how? Do you have any advice on how to start this conversation? I'm very hurt, and not sure if I can forgive her for this betrayal. I want to add that I'm definitely going to break up with her. Today I met up with 3 friends for a beer and told them what happened. Their opinion coincided with yours. Break up and do it quickly. I called my mom and told her everything. Yes, I told her everything, even though it was embarrassing. We are very close, and I wanted to explain everything to her. I've never heard her so angry. She knew I had bought a ring for Gina. I'll write an update when I'm done. Most likely tomorrow. Emotionally, I'll be pretty devastated. Thanks again for all the comments and messages of support. I didn't expect so many people to be on my side. Update. Well, I stood my ground and broke up with my wife on Thursday evening. To be honest, it was very dramatic. I feel completely drained after the last few days. My wife's behavior was quite ugly. Sorry for the long text, but a lot has happened. On the advice of my friends, my mother, my brother, and many of you, I decided to talk to her in a public place. The logic was that a person who can be so cruel and deceitful is potentially capable of turning everything upside down and claiming that she left me because I beat her or some other nonsense. I would like to believe that she would not do anything like that. But who knows? Especially after everything that has happened. It is better to be safe than sorry. I thought about just packing her things and breaking up with her without explanation. But after 2 years together, I decided it would be better to talk to her calmly and listen to her. If she had an explanation, I wanted to hear it, even if it wouldn't change my decision to break up with her. So I took her to a wine bar in the city center, where there are small private booths with curtains. She had been acting like an angel since Monday. That tells me there are 3 possible explanations. A. She felt guilty about her despicable behavior. B. She thought I might hear her, or she simply noticed that I was distant and had no idea why. She dressed up very nicely, and despite everything that had happened, I have to admit that she looked stunning. Jenna was also very affectionate and kept making suggestive comments about what she wanted to do with me later. Usually, my precious little baby carrot. Yes, I can still joke about it. I would have been delighted, but in the current circumstances, it was difficult to hear that and remain calm. I rehearsed what I was going to say to her many times. So, as soon as we sat down and our wine was brought to us, I started talking. I don't remember everything word for word because my adrenaline was pumping and now it all seems blurred. I started with how much I loved her, that she was the only woman with whom I felt such a deep connection that I opened up completely. I confided in her. I told her that she was the only woman I had ever thought of marrying, that I had gone ring shopping for her. I didn't mention that I had already bought it and that I had actually imagined us having children in the next few years. She kept responding with things like, "Oh, how sweet," or telling me how much she loved me. Then I looked her straight in the eye and asked her point blank, "If you love me so much, why do you mock me so terribly?" I must say, the look on her face gave me some satisfaction. As expected, my wife initially denied everything and pretended she had no idea what I was talking about. She said she knew how much she loved me and that she would never make fun of me. While talking to him, I just looked at her and said something like, "Come on, Jenna." But even after I told her that I had come home early on Monday and heard everything, she continued to deny it. It was quite annoying. But I kept my cool. I just told her that we both knew she was lying and that what she said was unforgivable. And I couldn't understand why she said such things in the first place, especially since she lied just to make fun of me. Jenna continued to deny it and pretend that I was crazy. She said she loved me so much that she had never been dissatisfied with our sex life, that she would never complain about my size, that she knew how smart and caring I was, and that was why she loved me. If I hadn't heard her say it myself, I would have believed her. Give her an Oscar for that performance. Some commenters asked if I was sure she was talking about me when I overheard her. When she talked about her ex and his guilt, she mentioned my name, comparing me to him. I am absolutely certain that she was talking about me and that she lied to my face. I told her that I would drive us home so she could pick up the essentials and her dog. My brother and his wife would be home too. I wanted there to be witnesses to confirm that I allowed her to pick up her things and did not do anything aggressive. I said I would calm down and leave the rest outside so she could pick it up when it was convenient for her. Jenna was in complete shock that I was really breaking up with her. She begged me to change my mind, but the decision had been made, and I wasn't going to change it. It was difficult for me to hold back tears when she said how much she wanted to be with me for the rest of her life, and that she planned to be the mother of my children. She kept asking what she should do now and where she should sleep. I told her that it was no longer my problem, and that she had plenty of friends she could stay with until she found a place to live. Almost all the furniture and decor in the house belonged to me. She only needed to take her clothes, toiletries, and other small items. All the renovations she had done to the house were paid for by me. And then the tears started. Jenna began to cry and say that she didn't understand how I could do this to her. She repeated 1,000,000 times that she thought I was a good guy. I said that I am a good guy. That's why I didn't throw her things out on the lawn, change the locks, and leave without any explanation. And I swear this woman managed to twist the knife even deeper. She said she didn't know why she said all that, but she finally confessed. And maybe it's because she can laugh at things that would otherwise make her cry. Apparently, it was about my penis. It was petty, and I don't usually stoop to snide comments. But I told her she could go back to her hometown and live with Dylan, or her ex-boyfriend with his 23-centimeter manhood. It was amazing to see how quickly her tears disappeared. Obviously, I'm a bastard. I don't know how to treat women. I'm a loser. I have a small dick. I'll be alone forever. She never loved me and saw me more as a friend, but she didn't want to hurt my feelings, so she stayed with me. Makes sense. True, she said she would have refused if I had proposed to her again and called me a loser and a bastard. And in case I didn't get it the first time, she confirmed again that she meant her comparison of my reproductive organ to a mini carrot. Oh yes, and I'll die alone. I told her that dying alone is better than dying married to a woman who doesn't love or respect me. No kidding. She started screaming, not saying anything, just letting out a long, incredibly loud scream. It was awkward. And then she just ran out of the bar, calling me a disgusting pig. After I paid the bill and apologized to the waiter for the drama, I went outside and saw that Gina was just standing outside crying. I understand that what she did was terrible, and all the things she said in the last few minutes were terrible too, but I still felt bad seeing her in that state. I didn't want to just leave her on the street. It was quite cold now, so I told her I could drive her back home so she could pack her things. But she had to leave and stay somewhere else. As soon as she packed her bag, she agreed, and we were silent the whole way in the car. It was an incredibly awkward ride. When we got home, my brother and his wife were there. His wife stayed inside while Gina gathered her things, and my brother waited with me outside. The process went fairly smoothly, and her friend came to pick her up. Before she left, I took her house key. She texted me all night, and the messages ranged from apologies to sad, angry, very angry, and sad again. I didn't reply to any of them, but only wrote to her in the morning to let her know that her things were waiting for her on the porch and that she should pick them up while I was at work. I didn't hear anything from my wife all day, until it was time for me to come home from work. She sent a rather angry message in which she wished me, I think, all the misfortune that one could wish upon a person. I did not respond. When I got home, I found complete chaos. Everything was broken. I don't know if my wife made a duplicate key that I didn't know about, or if she knows how to pick locks, but she somehow got into the house and trashed it. She broke things that couldn't be replaced, tore up the furniture, broke 2 sinks, and left the water running. She opened the refrigerator and scattered food all over the kitchen. Everything was destroyed. The only good thing she did was lock my 2 dogs in one of the rooms, probably so they wouldn't cut themselves on broken glass or eat the food. I have 2 cars, one for everyday use and an SUV for work. I use the SUV for house calls when, for example, I need to transport a large or exotic animal to the clinic. Amidst all this drama, I forgot that I had given her the keys to the SUV in case she ever had an emergency. I went out to check on the car, and she had destroyed it. There was flour scattered inside, and tomato sauce spilled everywhere. Things are just things. I think what struck me more was the fact that she could do something so childish and disgusting after everything. I was just in shock. Just last weekend, I took her to a play. We hung out with friends, played Monopoly, and even invented our own drinking game. We watched Netflix and made love several times. And now my house and car are destroyed, and I'm a mess. It's amazing how everything can change in such a short time. It wasn't the most dignified thing to do on my part. But I was so angry that I immediately went to a delivery website and ordered 20 bags of baby carrots, 2 kilograms each, addressed to Jenny at her friend's address. They deliver 40 kilograms of mini carrots within an hour. That evening, I received a lot of interesting and offensive messages from my wife. Yes, it was a small thing, but I don't regret it. Except that it was a waste of food. I hope she donates the carrots or cooks something with them. That's all. I blocked her last night because she kept sending me nasty messages. Now I feel depressed and have cried a lot. Obviously, I made the right decision. Gina is clearly emotionally unstable and immature. She is really cruel, and I know I deserve better. Since Monday, I've been thinking a lot about myself as a partner and trying to understand what could have led to my wife apparently harboring resentment or dissatisfaction towards me. I'll be 100% honest. I work a lot, I try to make time for everyone I love, and I try not to bring negativity home with me if I've had a tough day at work. But sometimes it happens, I admit that. My wife and I have argued about this before, and I've really tried to organize my day so that I come home at a reasonable time and try to leave the tough days behind me. However, those who work as veterinarians or know someone in this profession understand that we are always on call for emergencies. Sometimes we have patients who need to be checked on or stayed with overnight. Taking a day off can be difficult. It's possible, but difficult. I have an incredible staff who can handle most situations, but even on holiday or on my day off, I still get calls or messages. I'm sure there were times when my wife felt like she came second to my work. I know that was the case. She told me so herself. I tried to change things, but there are limits to what you can do. As far as I can remember, I was never deliberately mean or rude. There were bad days when I was irritable or distant. We had arguments and disagreements, but nothing unhealthy or toxic. I really thought we had a strong relationship and that we were both happy. I was definitely happy. I can't doubt myself or wonder if I was really such a disappointment or neglected her to such an extent that she felt so unloved that she did what she did. I don't know. But I do know that regardless, her words and behavior during the breakup were completely unacceptable. I didn't deserve that, and it's on her conscience. A quick update. I filed a police report and took photos of the trashed house, which I hope will help me recover at least some of the damages through my insurance company. As for the police, it's unlikely that anything will come of it, as I can't prove it was Jenna. To be honest, I don't want to see her again. I hope the insurance will cover the damage, and I'll just move on with my life. Well, be sure to write in the comments what you think about this whole story. Of course, every time you hear stories like this, you wonder if your girlfriend is really a good person, or if she would do the same thing as Jenna if you broke up. It's very sad. Anyway, thank you for watching this video to the end.